From Amateur Radio Newsline Report, number 2229. These are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. As mentioned last week on Ham Nation, Christopher Brough, KD8YVJ, is the recipient of the 2020 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Memorial Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award. To hear his response when Mark Abramovich, NT3V YHOTY chairman, called him, be sure to listen to the current Amateur Radio Newsline Report. Congratulations again, Chris. Meanwhile, in Ireland, amateurs are celebrating the completion of a long-awaited network of DMR radio repeaters.
The fourth and final repeater of the Galway Digital Radio Group's DMR network has been installed and the network is complete. The repeater, EI7LRD, became active on Saturday the 11th of July, allowing the repeater group to realise its goal to provide DMR repeater coverage for most of County Galway and some areas of nearby counties. According to Steve Wright, EI5DD, the coverage is designed to be uninterrupted because the 4 repeaters are set up to permit roaming, which allows for as much of a continuous connection as possible when switching between repeaters. DMR has been growing in popularity throughout Ireland in recent years. Steve told Newsline he believed that probably the Galway area now has Ireland's best digital radio facilities. The 4-repeater network is supplemented by a 2-metre multi-mode gateway for DMR, D-Star and Fusion, as well as a 2-metre C4FM Wires X gateway serving Galway City. There's also a 2-metre Yaesu Fusion repeater with Wires X in the southeast of County Galway and a 70cm D-Star repeater covering Galway City. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Black soldiers who served in the American military after the Civil War have found a place in history, and ham radio operators are honoring them too with a special event later this month.
Amateur radio operators will be paying tribute on HF as well as satellite in honor of the soldiers who made history when they joined the United States Army in Texas following the end of the American Civil War. Members of the 6 regiments of Buffalo Soldiers, as they came to be known, were black Americans whose military service was authorized by Congress on July 28, 1866, creating 2 units for cavalry and 4 for infantry. Using the call signs W5W and W5B, hams in Texas will operate in the worldwide special event on July 25th and 26th. Commemorative QSL cards and certificates will be made available. Shortwave listeners are also being invited to take part in the event, which will also be made available for listening live on Facebook on Saturday, July 25th at 1 p.m. Central Time. Look for the live stream on the Facebook page called Buffalo Soldiers Program - Texas Parks and Wildlife. Texas Parks officials are devoting the month of July to celebration of the legacy of the Buffalo Soldiers who served in the American West. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
Will a ham radio transponder end up on the European Moonlander, now under development?
The European Space Agency has received a proposal from AMSAT Deutschland to include an amateur radio transponder known as Lunar Art on board the large European lander, now under development for a moon mission. AMSAT DL says that inclusion of the Lunar Art platform would permit additional radio science experimentation globally on amateur radio frequencies and provide a backup communications option during a crisis or when the ESA network is busy. The goal would be for the Lunar Art and its payload to interact with international AMSAT groups as well as schools and STEM organisations around the world. In its formal proposal to the ESA, AMSAT DL writes, quote, "Such a challenging project will certainly motivate especially the next generation to achieve personal goals in education, science, engineering and beyond," end quote. The European moon lander is currently under development by ESA engineers and is envisioned as a multi-purpose project ranging from supplying cargo to supporting further human exploration of the moon's surface. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, TD5LP.
And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. With Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, Ed Durant, DD5LP, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.